Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 13th. This week, I go live every single day at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you want to catch me live, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, and you'll catch me live. I feel like this is going to be a very exciting week for you. Right off the bat, even while I was shuffling your cards just a couple of minutes ago here, Virgo, I got like a lot of excitement or some sort of new beginning here, and so I like to see that, and that's exactly what comes up here. I feel like you're being birthed in a lot of ways here, Virgo, towards something much more exciting. This almost has like vibes of maybe you feeling like something is too good to be true, and I feel like saying it isn't. So I feel like some of you kind of need to let go of the fears and let go of the worries. It's a very interesting reading. There are definitely some challenging cards here, mostly coming up in your past position, which we'll talk about in a minute. And of course, we're going to clarify at the end, and we're going to dive more into this. But let me just take a look at this. By the way, Virgo, I'm trying to slow my readings down. People say I talk too fast. The messages just come in really fast, but I am something I'm working on, so let me know. But you start off with the Electric Eel Spirit. This card says, bring your ideas to life. I just feel like saying shock to the system. And your first row here is definitely like a shock to the system here, Virgo. So you have the Eight of Cups, you have the Five of Swords, and you also have the Devil as well. So this could be some sort of separation or a breakup that you have experienced. I feel very strange about this. For some of you, I feel like this could be a breakup that happened years ago. For others, I feel like this is like a recent shock where it's like maybe someone walked away from you very, very quickly. This almost has the vibes of someone just like changing their mind overnight in this situation. This looks like a running away type of situation to me here, Virgo. So that's like pretty much the one story that I'm getting here, is that for some of you, there's some sort of shock. Again, you have the Eight of Cups, the Five of Swords, and the Devil. So can represent toxic energy. You have the Five of Swords as well here, some sort of heartbreak. But again, past position. So I feel like for most of you, this has already happened. If you have not gone through this like shocking breakup here, I feel like this has to do with your health, Virgo. Again, I am not a doctor, so do not take this as medical advice. What I would say is that if you went through some sort of health issue or challenge, this does look like a healing to me, so I do like to see that. You have the King of Cups. You have the Chariot, so I feel like things are improving if you have had some sort of health issue or some sort of health shock or like a shock to the system. So, a little bit challenging here. I would definitely be careful of this toxic energy here with the Devil card. So again, if you were dealing with a toxic person, it just feels like someone gave up is what I feel with this Five of Swords. So I definitely don't like this past row, but again, it's coming up in your past position. Next, you have the Stillness card here. So I do feel like it is time for you to be still and to heal with this card. I'm just getting the word healing here. And you also have the King of Cups, the World, and the Three of Swords here. So like I said, I feel like there was some sort of ending. This is actually a little bit more positive. It's starting to get more positive here. The King of Cups is kind of saying that no matter what is going on in the world here, he's sitting here and there are choppy waters around him, but emotionally, he is perfectly fine. Emotionally, he's not letting things get to him on this card, Virgo. So I feel like for some of you, it's like emotionally, you are kind of maybe holding it together now. Maybe you weren't in the past with this here. This looks like grief, sadness. Again, definitely sending you good vibes here, Virgo. I don't sugarcoat my readings, as I always say. My readings generally are positive because I don't think cards can control your life, as I always say. To me, tarot isn't really positive or negative. We make the choice. This is just a piece of paper with a picture on it. That's literally all it is. Cards have no power over you at all, period. And so that's what I'd say there. But this does feel, just my feelings are like some sort of loss or grief. Obviously, if you didn't go through that, then this part of the story isn't for you. But what I would say here is that I feel like this is you kind of holding it together. The World is definitely ending some sort of cycle. I almost feel like saying you're graduating here with the World card. The World, in a lot of ways, is kind of like a leveling up because it's a birth card. it is a card of kind of stepping through this portal here in the middle of the World card. And it kind of says maybe you're wrapping up some cycles, maybe you're completing some things. Now, you do have the Three of Swords here. Again, the Three of Swords can represent sadness. It's always raining on the Three of Swords, so it can represent sadness, grief, and loss, and things like that as well. So I do feel like some of you could be experiencing a loss here. Again, I don't want you Virgos to panic. We're going to clarify this in just a minute and see what comes up with the Lenormand here. But I do feel like you could be experiencing loss. For others, I feel like you're coming to the end of a loss, though. So like I said, I feel like you're in this healing period. Like I said, the good news is you have this All That Glitters card. So I feel like this is what you should focus on. This says like things are improving. Things will be getting better for you with this card. The only thing is here, Virgo, is I feel like you have to believe it. You have the Nine of Swords, the Chariot, and the Seven of Wands. Nine of Swords is a card of being stuck in a nightmare, kind of like having a nightmare and then waking up and still being in a nightmare. So it's kind of like that never-ending cycle, the World card, or feeling like you're stuck in this cycle of sadness, depression, and things like that. If we look at how this is connected here, it's like you have the Devil, the World, and the Nine of Swords. This is like saying that if you were dealing with a toxic person or a toxic energy, it's like maybe there was an ending, but it's also saying like if you keep going back to this person, you're just going to keep living the same nightmare with this Nine of Swords. So for some of you, I feel like this is about ending the cycle here. I feel like you are making that choice. You have the Chariot here, and the Chariot kind of says you're moving on. Even if we go this way, it's like the Eight of Cups, the World, the Seven of Wands. The Eight of Cups says you are no longer emotionally investing in the Devil energy. Literally, Eight of Cups is walking away from something that is toxic. The World, ending the cycle, birthing into something new. Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is defending your position at the top of a hill. Seven of Wands is a card that says you are no longer going back down the hill. You're only going up from here. So really, I feel like this is actually a pretty good reading. I know this is a very, what I would say is that this is a very heavy energy for sure, Virgo. I feel like this is definitely, represents someone who has gone through a lot of trials and tribulations and a lot of difficulties here in the past. But in a lot of ways, like I said, I feel like the only way is up from here, Virgo, and I feel like you truly need to believe that. Like I said, I want to start stressing in my readings that, the cards have no control over your life. Sometimes I get emotional reactions on my readings from people who are very upset or, who kind of like, say things about the cards. And I always feel sometimes these people attack me, which is fine. I totally get it. But, I always feel like I want to make it more of a point that tarot, these are just pieces of paper, right? They have no control over your life. If you're having an emotional reaction to a tarot reading, you probably, shouldn't watch tarot, or you should probably kind of reassess your relationship with tarot, because to me, we shouldn't have that much of an attachment to something like this, right? And I do this for a living. I love what I do. But, that's what I'd say there. Between the Eight of Cups and the King of Cups, you have the Animus card. This is amazing. A divine counterpart coming into your life. So again, if you're kind of moving towards something new, if you're walking away from this person from the past, I feel like some of you are walking towards someone who's going to be much more significant for you. This card is the Ace of Hearts in the playing card reading system, Virgo. And normally it would represent someone, normally it's called the man or the gentleman, and it would represent a man or a gentleman coming in for you. But again, I don't attach gender to my cards, so, especially in general readings. So if you're looking for love, could be love coming in. I would say here that Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo, and Cancer definitely stand out to me. This is a general reading. It could be any sign, but again, those are the signs that stand out to me. Between the Five of Swords and the World, you have the Six of Clubs. The Six of Clubs is called the Cross, and it's a card that represents burdens or having experienced a lot of difficulties and challenges. It represents having a cross to bear, but it kind of says you don't have to do these things on your own. Even the Five of Swords is a card that says you can ask for help. So I feel like for some of you, if you're experiencing burdens or challenges or difficulties, I feel like asking like someone, like even an expert, for help would be able, that would help remove these burdens or any difficulties that you've been going through. So I feel like, professional help for some of you it could be friends or family. The Six of Clubs is, it literally, this card is called the Cross. It represents, Jesus basically carrying the cross. And this is not a religious thing. It's just the symbology, right? And so it kind of represents carrying some sort of burden that you don't have to carry on your own. Between the Devil here and the Three of Swords, You have the Queen of Diamonds. This card is called the Crossroads, and it just represents being at a crossroads, having a choice to make. Really, I feel like your choice is pretty simple. I feel like you're cutting out toxic energy, plain and simple. Even if this is just a healing for you, Virgo, I feel like you're cutting out toxic energy. Some of you could be like, I'm getting all sorts of things popping into my head right now. I feel like some of you could be changing your diet. I feel like some of you could be changing your health routines and all sorts of stuff. So I feel like that will be very helpful in your health, Virgo. Between the King of Cups and the Nine of Swords, you have the Ten of Spades. This is called the Ship, and the Ship just represents, it's actually a pretty good card in the Lenormand card reading system. It represents going from one thing to another. In this diagonal here, you have the World, Chariot, actually in this line as well. So this could be some sort of move. Some of you could be moving or traveling, which you get quite a bit, Virgo. It could also just be moving on to something new. Between the World here and the Chariot, what do you know? You have the Jack of Hearts, love offer coming in for you in the future. Jack of Hearts is a new admirer or an admirer coming in for you. Again, could be a water sign. Water is definitely standing out to me here, King of Cups. So I feel like for some of you, this could be a water sign. Definitely could be a Cancer or Scorpio coming in for you in love here, is what I'd say, Virgo. For others, this is saying like you're focusing on what you do love. Between the Three of Swords here and the Seven of Wands, yeah, don't beat yourself up. I feel like after something like this right here, all this BS right here, Virgo, where you could be going through some sadness or you could be experiencing a great loss. This card here is the Jack of Clubs, and it's called the Whip, and it represents just whipping yourself in the back. So I feel like when we go through something, we can really beat ourselves up, especially if we go through a loss or like a breakup or, some sort of separation like that. So I feel like some of you need to kind of stop beating yourself up. In your top row outcome, love it. What did I say? The only way is up, Virgo. That's literally what I said to you. You have the Sun. This is the Ace of Diamonds. So I feel like this is an amazing card of success, abundance, good things coming in for you. It is a card of attention as well. It says there's going to be a lot of positive attention coming in for you with this Ace of Diamonds. So amazing. In this row here, you have the Seven of Clubs. This is called the Mice. For some of you, I feel like if you have recently left a relationship or went through this breakup difficulty thing here, I feel like you could just be taking a break. You could just be saying, I'm not going to rush into anything. I'm not going to rush back into a relationship. I'm just going to take some time for myself. Again, for others, healing. This reading is one of those readings where I feel like it's pretty much, there are little extra details we're going to cover in a minute. But for the most part, I feel like it's either a healing or a moving to something new in a relationship. And finally, in your bottom row, what do you know? King of Hearts. This is basically the same card as the King of Cups. This card is called the House, and it represents safety, security, comfort, protection. This is amazing, Virgo. It's like if we take this row right here, this is like a divine counterpart. Ace of Hearts, the Gentleman, Jack of Hearts, admirer, and the King of Hearts, like true love, someone who feels like home. So I feel like for a lot of you, you are heading towards home. You are heading towards a person that can provide you what you need in a relationship. Definitely could be a water sign, no doubt about it. For some of you, I feel like this person could be at a distance as well, because you have the Chariot, the Ship, the House, the World. These are cards that could represent someone at a distance. What I would say to you, Virgo, is this looks like someone moving to me because there's too many moving cards. So if you're like getting into something long distance, I feel like there won't be any lag time. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like you'll get into the relationship at a distance and someone's going to move very relatively quickly, within like a few months is what I'd say here. For some of you, if you're in something long distance, I feel like this is, again, someone moving very quickly. It's interesting because it's like underneath the tarot part of the reading is like very challenging as far as relationship is concerned. Then the Lenormand clarifying on top is much more positive. So I feel like things look really good in relationships. Even this diagonal here, we have the Crossroads, the Heart, and the Sun. Very positive. This is like your true love coming into your life. The Queen of Diamonds is like saying you're moving on to something new. The Crossroads is kind of like a bend in the road in a lot of ways, Virgo. The Crossroads can say that it's like when you're driving down a road, if there's like a huge bend like this, it's like when you're right here, you can't see over here. I feel like saying, and that's what I feel for you right now, Virgo. Like I said, earlier, I feel like the only way is up. I feel like that's what's so amazing about this reading, is that your things are going to improve, guaranteed. But I also feel like what's also amazing is like I feel like you don't know what's around the bend. I feel like you need to realize that you're about to see something amazing. once you kind of go around the bend in the road here. So that's what I feel for you. So this looks amazing. I actually really like it. Even though underneath it's challenging, I feel like, that's very surface level. So that's what I got for you. So thank you, Virgo, for watching. I hope you enjoy your week. And yeah, definitely good luck.